This is Allison Hunt, and this is my novel Starset 158, Chapter 2, Virus. Lily walked around the room and curiously touched the objects placed about. There were pretty things, some set even before her time. There was a green jewelry box with many pretty items in it. She found a glass yellow square. She picked it up and looked at it, and then put it back in the box because she didn't know what it was for. She laid on the bed and saw a little stuffed animal, a sea turtle. Lily stared at him with love and embraced him against her, holding his small body with one hand. She placed him on her neck facing backwards where he fit snug. "Well, hello, little Joe." She smiled and went to sleep. She came out of her room the next morning coughing. AK was gone. "You don't sound so good. Are you feeling okay?" Jeremy asked. Lily took little Joe from her shoulder and turned him around to face Jeremy and shook his head. He put his hand on her forehead and she flinched and took 2 steps back. "What's wrong?" "I saw these people and they all had blonde hair and blue eyes like you do. They spoke a different language, and then I felt warm and safe. Let me check you out, okay?" "All right." He took a tool and scanned over her and took a swab and swabbed her mouth. "You have a fever." "I feel like a werewolf," Lily said, and Jeremy laughed. "A werewolf?" "And my skin's crawling and I feel anxious and icky, like a werewolf must feel. Hold on, I'm gonna get you something." He left and came back with a cup of liquid. "It tastes really bad, so eat this candy afterward. It won't cure you, but it will help you." She took it, and even with the candy, she made a sour face. Jeremy smiled. "You should get in the sunbed for a while. It will warm you up and help you fight that cold." He led her to it and set the timer for her. He instantly went back to run some tests. When she came back, she was smiling. "Feels good, huh?" "I don't remember the last time I was in the sun." 26 years ago is my guess. It's fake sun, but it works. I don't use it much for obvious reasons. "You're so fair, Jeremy. Even your eyelashes are blonde. I never noticed that before." Although Jeremy held still as stone, that sentence made him feel many emotions. "You have a strange strain of virus. Some of it's familiar, some of it's not. Here's to fight what I know of it." She took it. "You should go back to bed. You too, little Joe." Lily smiled and put her hand on Jeremy's shoulder, then went back to her room. Once the door was shut, Jeremy went to a special spot where he hid some special things and used some special keys. A hidden compartment came out. He pulled the case out and opened it. Inside was a large eyeglass that covered both of his eyes. He attached it over his head. It was very high-tech and full of buttons, levers, lenses, and lasers. He began to make the lenses spin around and messed with the knobs until he could find exactly what he was looking for. AK returned later and Jeremy was at his desk. "Lily's sick," he told AK as he entered. "Really? Where did you take her to?" "The Metropolis. Why?" "How many girlfriends have you taken there?" "A few. Why?" "Do you know anyone that may work there?" "No. Why?" "She wouldn't be sick if you didn't take her out." "She probably just picked something up." "I wish." Jeremy slid the microscope over to him. AK looked into the microscope. "What the fuck is that?" "Exactly. My guess is one of your old girlfriend's friends saw you bring her in." "But it's not food poisoning." "No, it's purposely placed bacteria." "But they would have access to..." "Many of us have access to that." "My guess is she was saving it for you, but took it out on Lily instead." "Fuck!" "She's gonna be sick a while." Just then they heard a loud crash in Lily's room and then another. "Unlock the door, Lily!" She was screaming. The door stayed still. "Override assignment audio, skeleton key 6064. The door opened and AK peered inside. Her room was trashed. He couldn't see her, so he stepped inside of the door, and she jumped out at him with a jagged piece of glass from the vase her roses were in. She held it to his neck. She was covered in sweat, and her clothes were wet with it. "Let me see Fan!" She wasn't kidding. I'll kill you. I'm not your prisoner. She got really close to his face. Take me to Fan, you son of a bitch. Take me to Fan or you die. She got real close to his face. Hinwa tise ifatat. AK froze with his eyes wide. Jeremy, scared for AK's life, distracted Lily. Lily, where's little Joe? I want to hold him. She looked up at Jeremy with a completely different expression. Jeremy held his hand out in a cup to hold little Joe with. Lily stood and spun around, and AK scuttled out of the room. He was scared shitless. Lily looked at little Joe, who was still on her bed. She lifted him up by himself without even touching him, and he floated over to Jeremy's hands. Jeremy didn't react to this. He put little Joe on his shoulder. Little Joe says you have to lay back down now. Lily started to shake. I'm so cold, I'm freezing. Jeremy tucked her back in and made little Joe talk to Lily. Stay here. We need to get you some medicine. Lily shivered under the covers and nodded. Jeremy came back. He was humming, and it comforted her. She took the pills and lay back down. He gave little Joe back. She smiled and instantly fell asleep. He cleaned up her room and then went back to the computers. Thanks for saving my ass, AK said. It's your fault she's deliriously sick. I know. Lily can't be cloned. You don't say. I was just about to tell you that before she almost killed you. It must be natural. But that means, holy shit. No, they won't. I stalled them. How? I hacked into their program and changed the results. You're fucking joking, right? No, and I scrambled their coding so they wouldn't find her blood for a while. They'll be pointed to the wrong drawer, and they'll start cloning the blood of a white female with light skin and green eyes, just like hers. Oh, Jeremy, I love you. That was smart. I'm glad you know how to do that shit. Me too. I don't have many days left, AK said. For what? To kill Fan Quan. AK was gone. He was tracking Fan now. Lily came out with little Joe. Jeremy felt her head. You're burning up. I'm going to give you some medicine. Come here. I'll show you how to work the shower. It was very high tech. She got in and the machines moved around her. When she got out, the machines dried and dressed her. She came out of the washroom and Jeremy peeked up with little Joe on his shoulder. He looked back down quickly, but then looked right back at her. He didn't move an inch, and he was not one to feel much either. You look really good considering you've been so sick. Did you figure out how to work the wardrobe by yourself? No, I didn't touch it. Why? That's not what I told it to dress you in. He gave little Joe back. I have to check on something. Be right back. He went to the washroom. Repeat prior program audio. Green dress, pink lips, curly hair. Repeat current program audio. Green dress, pink lips, curly hair. Repeat current program coding. It showed Egyptian hieroglyphs. He reset the machine. Lily looked like an Egyptian with straight hair, dark eye makeup, and red lips. The dress was white with golden ribbons and was barely covering her at all. Go change, Lily. AK's gonna freak. She said nothing and went back to change. She came back. Jeremy stood up. I'm sorry, I have to. He stunned her with a stun gun. Stay calm. Feel my calm. Feel my peace. He put his hand on her shoulders. Fan's alive. What? Listen and be quiet. He's 60 years old, Lily, and he lives in high establishments. He's married, and whites and clones aren't allowed there at all. Why not? Segregation. Even if you got close, you wouldn't get close. What does the world come to? They don't kill the whites, do they? No, they aren't allowed to kill the clones, but they are tight-knit and they wouldn't like you. I don't care. I must see him. He put me in that damn thing. He needs to take me out. It will be near impossible, so don't get too worked up. Everyone and everything is pulling against you. I don't care. That's when I'm the strongest, is when I have nothing to lose. When all of the odds are stacked against me, that's when I fly. I will help you, but we must be careful of AK. This sticker will block him from knowing about us. Play nice with him. Act like Fan is dead, and if that sticker gets wet, you'll lose it, so don't forget about that. She was just about to place it on the inside of her thigh. I wouldn't do that. That's what AK wants the most. Here, I'll help you put it on your back. I have some connections. I can try to send a message to him to let him know you are alive. I must warn you, it's pretty much impossible, even with my help. You will be stopped many times. I don't care. She unclasped her necklace. Make sure he gets this. She handed him the locket and he opened it. It was a picture of Fan and Lily 26 years ago. Jeremy smiled and closed the locket. I can feel your emotions. They are steep and high and low with no normality. Catastrophic emotions. But with the depths and darkness are such breathtaking heights. Even us hybrids can never feel like that, the passion of your hope. As long as he's still alive, you won't give up on your love. You are lucky AK didn't take this from you. The luckiest and most unlucky person here. He didn't notice it because he was drunk on your emotions, like I am now. We were drunk on your soul. AK is going to try to locate him and sneak a tracker on him. That way he can keep his eye on him at all times. Watch his distance to you. He may even try to kill him because he is in love with you. So is Fan.